Hello, my name is Professor Kirti Premadasa. I'm a professor of mathematics at University of Wisconsin, Platteville, and one of my research areas is mathematically aligning human interest with environments. In simple language, finding out your personality traits and align them with optimal careers or optimal college majors, optimal environments. Okay, in general. All right. So when I was doing this, I thought it would be pretty cool to get Sri Lankan students some hints and tips about finding their personality traits and then align them with future careers. And why is that? Because I don't think, in my opinion, Sri Lankan students hardly ever get a chance during their school days to find out what I really like, what I really am interested in, what I would really like to do, and then match them with their education or future career. So let's do the first part of that. So what you do is you identify the personality types, right, that you have, the salient ones, and then second part is actually you align them with optimal careers, and the third part, of course, is trying to find a university major or a degree which acts as a vehicle for you to get from your personality types to that optimal career. So I'm going to introduce you to the first part of that, and which is to a world-class model which will help you identify your salient personality types. The model I'm going to describe is the famous Holland model made by the American psychologist John Holland, and it is very widely used all over the United States and, as a matter of fact, all over the world as a way of identifying your personal traits. And I'm going to give a Sri Lankan customized version of that using Sri Lankan activities and Sri Lankan, the career that Sri Lankans like. So this is going to be a video which is actually made mainly for Sri Lankan students, but I'm sure everybody also can benefit from that. The Holland model says that every person, right, born on earth, right, has one or more of these salient personality types. Okay, so what are these? So you can see the hexagon, right? You can see the realistic, investigative, artistic, social, enterprising, and conventional. Realistic are the doers, investigative are the thinkers, artistic are the creators, social are the helpers, enterprising are persuaders, conventional are organizers. So you can have one or two or even many of these salient personality traits. So let's take the first type, the realistic type. So people who are realistic like to work with their hands. They like, okay, not whether they can, or usually the company is that, but they like. We are trying to find out what you really like, okay? So so they tend to be practical, physical, and enjoy working with their hands. So if you look at, again, the daily life of a Sri Lankan student, right? People who are of realistic type like to do things like repairing electronic items, fixing broken coffee machines, assembling furniture, and cell phones, assembling cell phones, etc. And if you're the type of person who likes to do that, right, then you may have realistic personalities. So if you look at future careers, once again, a small warning. So you might need one or more personality types to be in these careers. But one thing for sure, that if you are not realistic, right, you should not get into these careers. Okay, so first of all, let's see what they are. So computer engineering or mechanical engineering, or pretty much most types of engineering like civil engineering and etc. A surgeon, right, okay, and chef, physics lecturer, sports professional. And you can see, like, for example, surgeons and chefs and physics lecturers and mechanical and computer engineers always work with their hands. They want to see tangible products in front of you after their creation. They want to see what they create in front of you. Okay, so that's a realistic type. The next type is the investigative type. So who are they? So investigative people are logical, analytic, and curious thinkers. They like to think things out, like to think out solutions. So if you look at the daily life of Sri Lankan students, really, if you are investigative, you probably like solving puzzles, IQ problems, and you would like writing and troubleshooting algorithms, and solving mathematical problems, basically making predictions about certain things, but usually in the mind, right, rather than hands-on. Okay. And then if you look at the future careers, right, okay, software engineers, actuaries, right, in that's an area in mathematics for insurance, right. Psychiatrists always have to work with their mind to figure out what's going on, and and economists, and almost all types of professors. And a surgeon will have to work quickly, right, to think out and problem solving quickly. And physicians, so all of these have something in common. They like to problem solve, especially using their mind. That's the investigative type. Next is the artistic type. And artistic people are creators. Okay, so what are they like? Okay, so they are creative, original, expressive, imaginative, and intuitive. So if you look at the daily life of a Sri Lankan, let's see whether you have one of these or more of these. So we like to decorate paintings, right? Writing blogs and short stories, creating and editing photos and videos, maybe making YouTube videos, singing and dancing and performing, theater, anything which involves creation. And about future careers, once again, these may require more than one of these traits, okay? So graphics/web designer, architects, right? Actor, performance, right? Author, poet, musician, photographer, they all, right, like to create things, right? And that is the artistic type. So the next type that we have is a social type, and social types are helpers. So people who are in the social type are empathic, supportive, and caring. So let's look at the daily life in Sri Lanka. So if you are the type of person who likes, like teaching your friends about topics that you are not that you are good at and your friends are not so good at, right? And then, having little classes, right? And if you are the type of person who likes to helping people in distress, like to help go to different hospitals and serve, patients who are in difficulties, right, and illnesses, and you like to join charities and like to fight and help causes that you believe in, right? Basically, you want to serve the mankind, as well as not only just like teach and train people, right, on the things that you know. Okay. And how about the future careers? Well, I would say that all medical professionals, right, unfortunately some of them are not, but they should be social, because the whole idea of a medical professional, like a doctor, physician, pediatrician, surgeon, or whatever you call it, is to serve the patient, to help the patient get over an illness. So, and then, okay, counselors, mental health counselors, and lecturers, all professors, right, and lecturers should be have the social trait, because their whole idea is to give the knowledge so that another generation can achieve. Okay. And speech language therapists who deal with autistic children, and these are some of the hot areas which are out there, right? Okay. And they all need the social type. Next is the enterprising type, and enterprising people are the persuaders. So okay, what are they like? They're ambitious, outgoing, persuasive, assertive, and confident. So if you look at a daily life in Sri Lanka, right, let's see whether you are one of these people. If you're like the type of person who always like to sell stuff online or in person, and if you are while at school, if you are the type of person who like to find sponsorships for the school events, like finding sponsorships for souvenirs and stuff like that. And if you are the type of person who always like to take leadership and manage like school societies and stuff, always like to lead from the front, and then are outgoing and persuasive, right? That's your type. And then what about future careers? Well, almost all administrators, right, and businessmen and PR people, communications, right, and almost all marketing, advertising types, right, are the enterprising type. And of course, they will require other personality types as well. But you must be enterprising to get into those careers. And then lawyers are enterprising. They actually create practices on their very own, right? Okay. And then politicians are also enterprising. Okay. And so that's the enterprising type. Okay, so we come to the final type in the Holland hexagon. Well, it's not really a final type, it's a hexagon, right? It's a conventional type, and it's like a misleading name. So it's Holland's original definition, but really what it means is organized. So, what do they do? Okay, so conventional people are organized, detail-oriented, reliable, dependable, and responsible. So they like to work within set protocols. So how do you know in daily life in Sri Lanka whether you have this trait? Well, if you are the type of person who likes to keep your surroundings, your room, your house, or your workplace very neat and organized, okay, and that's one of them. And then you want to stick to a timetable, right? You want to schedule everything, right, in your day, right? And you like to be a treasurer or a secretary at your school societies. and you like to manage mailing lists, and keep inventory, right? And you want to make sure that everything in your society or your home or your club is inventorized, right? You are the organized type. And what are the future careers? Well, again, there could be many traits that you will need for these careers, but you should not get into these careers if you don't, or if you are not conventional. So what are those? Accountants. Well, accountants always deal with protocols, right? Data scientist, which is an emerging, very strong career. Okay, technical writer. Okay, and then statistician and software engineers. Well, software engineers require both to be investigative as well as to be conventional, because you need that you need to work within a protocol once you decide on the project, right? Okay, and pharmacist is another one. So these are very strong areas where your organizing ability, right? Okay, your ability to stay neat and organized and stay within a protocol really helps. So knowing your personality traits is one thing, and then you need to align them with optimal careers. So one of the cool things that some of us did, a bunch of mathematicians and computer science of the University of Wisconsin system, which has 12 of of Wisconsin's best universities, including the UW-Madison. What we did was we actually did a model, which we proved in research is probably one of the best, if not the best, models to align personality vectors with environments. And we actually created a decision support system, right? So there are three things. First of all, you need to identify your personality traits, and then find your optimal, align it to the optimal job, and then get a university degree which can act as a vehicle for you to get from your personality vector to the optimal job. And almost always this has to be done in a very scientific manner through a decision support system, so that you kind of get in everything, all the information, you capture all the information about your personality, and then you capture all the information about the environments, etc. So thank you for watching.